हृदयेषु नः पृथुमाध्यमा प्रथमा स्मृता विश्वनाटकसूत्रधारन विश्वनाटकसूत्रधारन लीलया ललिते कृता आदिपूजितपादपङ्कजमापदम् अपघातकम्.
Welcome to the Candid Life podcast, where we turn our broken hallelujah into melody lines of impact. And I'm your host, Lady Gago. Today, we are going to experience the Swaranandan Journey, the journey through the Garden of Notes with the Raman family, all the way from Rochester, Michigan. We are actually in the home of the Raman family today, so I'm excited to invite you to listen to this beautiful Indian classical music. But before we do that, we are going to listen to a bhajan, which is an invocation piece. Enjoy.
आदिपूजितपादपङ्कजमापदम् अपघातकम् आदिपूजितपादपङ्कजमापदम् अपघातकम् खर्ववर्तुलम् आद्भुतारुण खर्ववर्तुलम् आद्भुतारुण कुञ्जराननसुन्दरम् कुञ्जराननसुन्दरम् आदिपूजितपादपङ्कजमापदम् अपघातकम् संस्तुमो घनदैवतं भवपार्वतीरवसोधवम् संस्तुमो घनदैवतं भवपार्वतीरवसोधवम् वरदां श्रुतिनन्दनम् वरदां श्रुतिनन्दनं स्वरकालसङ्गमसिद्धितम् आदिपूजितपादपङ्कजमापदम् अपघातकम्.
That's the bhajan. Like I said, we have the Raman family here. Welcome, first of all, Raman family, to the Candid Life.
Thank you.
So we're just going to go around and introduce who we have in the family today, starting with Papa.
Oh, thank you. I get to go first.
Absolutely, yes. Please tell us your name.
Thank you. My name is Venkat Mandayam, or people would like to call me Vinny Mandayam.
Hi, my name is Zubin Raman, and I am 9 years old, and I've been practicing music for about 2 years.
And I am Amri, the mom. I am from India, and I grew up listening to a lot of the film music and some exposure to South Indian classical music. And as I grew up, I started enjoying more and more of the classical music, and right now learning Hindustani classical music.
Hi, my name is Lamha. I am 13 years old. I've been learning Hindustani classical music since about 3 or 4, and the journey has been really fun, very collaborative with my family and my teachers.
That's great. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Raman family. It's so good to be here. Listen, family, I want to tell you, we just had some biryani. Really, really good food. I feel the love when I walk through the door. I actually felt the love. And I hope you guys feel the love as well as we continue to learn a bit more about the family and learn more about the music that they are going to be sharing with us today on the podcast. But we started out with a bhajan, and Lamha, please tell us, why did we start with a bhajan?
Well, a bhajan is a prayer song that it's sung before any celebratory event for any festival. It's an introduction song to the event. I recently sang this specific song at an event celebrating Navratri. Navratri is a festival that celebrates the triumph over evil, good over evil. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, as we are listening to these songs, are there particular words in there that really resonate with any of you at all? I mean, it's a celebrated song before any event,
Right.
but are there lyrics that, maybe speak to you, or are we just invoking on one of the Hindu gods? So what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the start of the song it starts with Adi Pujita. Pada Pankaja means Adi Pujita Adi is the first. So we are praying you, oh, the first one. And Pada Pankaja, so we are bowing to your feet and we are offering our prayers. That is the significance of the song. And then we are seeking blessings from the God. So the event goes all okay.
So this would be a normal thing that you would do in any event at all. You'd always start with some kind of bhajan.
Yes.
That's correct.
Wonderful. Well, that's our introduction. So that was our first song. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. I mean, you are here. You're from India. Give us a little bit about where in India you're from and what important part music played to your family growing up.
I'm from South India, and I grew up with my grandmother, who is probably double major in classical music, and I learned some of my very beginning holding a note or whatever have you, very, very beginning learnings were from her. And my dad was an avid fan of Bollywood music, and every night when he went to bed, he would always sing to himself. And I grew up listening to a lot of music. My mom used to sing, so I grew up in a very musical family, whether it was classical music or film music. That's how I was inspired to sing, because there's always songs going on.
Yeah.
And the radio would go on all the time with a lot of music. So I grew up knowing a lot of songs, the lyrics of the songs, and just being in the environment where music was celebrated.
What about you, Vinny? What was your experience in your family?
Yeah, I'm also from South India, from a state called Andhra Pradesh. And Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, these are adjacent states that share the same style of Indian music. So while I also grew up in a family of musicians, Amri's and my experiences are completely different. She grew up listening to Bollywood music, which is the pop music, but I grew up listening to very traditional South Indian classical music called Carnatic classical. I was taught by my grandmother, Janaki Mandayam. But growing up, I got introduced to many other musics, including pop music from India, jazz. I love jazz. So I started enjoying everything. While I grew up learning Carnatic classical, today I sing Bollywood, I sing pop songs. I really enjoy jazz. I love listening to Lamha playing her ukulele, the guitar, piano. So it's been wonderful.
Dave Koz and Brian Culbertson are his favorite
Oh, yeah.
smooth jazz
Any
stars.
smooth jazz musician.
It's so hard to picture you listening to smooth jazz, but hey,
Oh,
and why should it be?
we
Should it
always went to the Southfield Pavilion to listen to
Really?
98.7
Oh my goodness.
shows.
That's
We've been to
fantastic.
almost every one of them when
Right.
they were using that channel.
At a time, yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, music just really transcends culture, at the end of the day. So, Lamha, you are surrounded, well,
Yes.
you actually were born into
Yes.
music. And so, how have your parents influenced you? Because you sing classical now.
Classical music is a way to connect to roots. Other music is wonderful. I really enjoy pop music, specifically K-pop music, Korean pop. But classical music is really a way to find the tradition in music towards my culture. And I've had a couple teachers in the past who have given me exposure to the happy side of music, like a good introduction to music and the theory side of music. Now I have a wonderful teacher, Brajeshwar Mukherjee. He is a very renowned singer in India and he's a wonderful teacher. My parents both gave me the opportunity to be a student from him. My mom took a few workshops with him and finally asked me to take lessons from him, and that has been very helpful and very wonderful learning.
I love what you said there about the classical music. It's connecting you to your roots.
Yes.
Because, I mean, you don't go to India all the time. I mean,
No.
you visit, but being able to have the opportunity of learning the music that really has been the foundation of your parents is truly a blessing. And I'm glad that your parents are providing you that opportunity. It's you and your brother, the
Of course,
opportunity
yeah.
of learning the classical music. Makes me feel a little guilty because my mom, if she was here, she'd be like, you see, I told you, My mom's always going on about the importance of learning your language, and she's constantly asking, are the girls learning the language? And I feel really guilty about it because when I met my husband, we started speaking English and it continued in English. And so, it takes a minute to kind of go back to that. But hearing you talk about your parents really helping you to connect with your roots by using music as a foundational piece, I think is amazing.
It
So
really
we're going
is.
to go ahead, and what is your second choice of music?
Our second choice is a song called Main Vari Vari. It is a bandish. A bandish is a song composed of normally 2 stanzas. This particular song is in a rag called Yaman. A rag is a scale, and with flat notes or sharp notes and things like that. This song is about a woman who is welcoming her husband home from war, and she's saying, when are you coming home, and I will decorate the house with flowers. And she's really singing about how she will welcome home her husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go ahead and listen to this song. Introduce it again for us.
This song is called Main Vari Vari in Rag Yaman.
Thank you so much. Enjoy.
मैं वारी वारी जाऊंगी प्रीतम प्यारे, मैं वारी वारी जाऊंगी प्रीतम प्यारे, कब आओगे मोरे मंदारवा, कब आओगे वारी वारी जाऊंगी वारी मैं वारी वारी जाऊंगी गरे सनी पामा गरे निदा पामा रे सनी दा मादा नी रे गरे सनी दा पामा गामा पामा गरे सा मैं वारी वारी जाऊंगी प्रीतम प्यारे मैं वारी वारी जाऊंगी मैं वारी वारी जाऊंगी मैं वारी वारी जाऊंगी प्रीतम प्यारे.
That was quite a powerful piece. I mean, the music definitely does draw you in. But I'm wondering though, Amri, is this the kind of welcome you have for your husband when he comes home from work? Creating all the flowers. Folks, you need to see what Vinny's doing right now. This is crazy right here. He's doing a little dance, but we're not going to expose him. We're not going to expose him. So tell me, Amri, do you decorate the house with the flowers? I mean, how do you welcome your husband home?
Every day. Waiting at the door when I come home from work.
Amri, you need to tell us here. I mean, here we are listening to this beautiful love song. Oh, by the way, I need to say, Amri was hitting on Vinny from 4th grade. Can you believe this? I'm sorry. I thought I could hold it in. I just couldn't do it. She was sending him these cute little notes from 4th grade, and he was only in 3rd grade. And by the way, she was persistent. Moving on, carry on.
So I know my husband since 2nd grade.
Oh, 2nd grade. Sorry, wrong information.
So yes, I did draw Mickey Mouse and Goofy and sent him those greeting cards, right, since 3rd grade or 4th grade to really win him over and woo him over. I wrote poems for him, which he said he couldn't understand. In all honesty, music has brought us together quite a bit. Me and my husband share a lot of common interests with music. We sing together. We're always goofing off together with music. We sing with our children. We have karaoke sometimes. We do that. And come to think of it, I think music has been something that has kept us together, kept us bonded over the number of years that we've known each other.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I'm still curious though. Do you prepare this little love fest with flowers
Tried to avoid the
and
question, didn't you?
decorations? I mean, you did a great job.
I actually do. If you see the kitchen, there is a vase that says love. It's red and white in color. I bought that.
That's
and
true.
I decorated that with flowers and put it on the table. So yes, I do that.
You do.
Wow.
So, Vinny, do you feel the love when you
Life
come
is
home from work?
Absolutely. Well, I work from home. So, well, there's a couple ways I'm always excited, and she knows the way to reach to my heart. It is definitely flowers.
Through biryani.
And food. And there's abundance of both in our family. So it's always exciting, and there's so much love around.
I love this.
He has to say it.
Well, I mean, oh my goodness. You really think he's saying this under pressure?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
No doubt.
Oh.
I was dancing.
On
a
the
minute ago.
record, on the record. Well, you can always hold his feet to the fire. And it's all on tape. And I love the fact that, again, he said something really important, that music has kept you together as family. And the fact that you all share that, I think is definitely a beautiful thing. I think one of the things we always have to do as parents is to find connections with our children. Music is definitely one of them. Is there something else that you guys do together as a family that keeps you connected?
We do travel a lot. Vinny and I both enjoy traveling and seeing places, quite naturesque places. We have gone pretty much every place up north. Love fall colors, so we always take a fall trip. So traveling is one of other common things that we really enjoy doing together, and now I think our kids also love to travel quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
Traveling is always a break from everything, and it's just a reset.
There is a lot, and both electronically, digitally, and on paper. And they are avid fans of gardening.
Oh yes.
We
have a huge garden.
Yeah, the entire summer and early fall, we eat the produce from our garden, whether it's cucumbers, tomatoes, eggplants, beans, you name it. We have it in all the vegetables in our garden.
Yes.
That's one of our favorite pastimes.
That's great, because I think it's so important, I think in this day and age, to be able to get connected, stay connected with your family. I think everybody's busy doing all kind of other things, especially with electronics.
Right.
It's such a key thing, but when you can actually get away from the electronics and just have some family time and do things that are common to everybody, I think it's important. I'm always thinking about, what can I do with my children, or just with my family, so that I can look back and actually laugh. You need those laughing moments, and they don't always come by sitting at a device.
Yeah.
They come by actually spending time together. So I love that you guys have these common interests. What is our next song?
Our next song is a little bit of a different song. It's called a Sargam Geet. A Sargam Geet is a composition made up of purely notes, and there are no lyrics to it. This particular Sargam Geet is in a rag called Bhairavi. In the entire scale, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, the notes re, ga, dha, and ni are komal, or flat. And it's a very deep and soulful rag. So this Sargam Geet, or this song, is composed in that.
The intent of Sargam Geets are to introduce the scale or the rag to the students. So like Lamha said, it does not have lyrics, but through the Sargam Geet you understand the definition of a rag and get more in-depth knowledge of that particular rag.
I know Lamha actually sings it, but I'm very curious, would you just sing us a little bit?
Oh, of the Sargam Geet?
Yes, please.
Yeah. This is how it goes.
Yeah.
Ni sa ga ma pa dha pa ni da pa ma ni da ma da pa ga pa ma sa sa ri ga ma ga ri sa ni sa ga ma pa dha pa.
Let's go ahead and listen to the song.
Ni sa ga ma pa da pa ni da pa ma ni da ma da pa ma sa sa re ga ma ga re sa ni sa ga ma pa da pa ma ni ga pa da ni ma da re ni sa pa da ni sa ni ga re sa pa ni ga pa sa ma ga pa ma ni da pa ma ga re sa ni sa ga ma pa da pa ma da pa ni da pa da ni ma da re ni sa pa da ni sa ni ga re sa pa ni da pa sa ma ga pa ma ni da pa ma ga re sa ni sa ga ma pa da pa ga sa re sa ni sa pa ni da pa da ni sa re ni sa ga pa ma ga pa sa dha ma ni da pa sa ni da pa ga re sa ga sa re sa ni sa pa ni da pa ga re sa re ni sa ga pa ma ga pa sa dha ma ni da pa sa ni da pa ga re sa pa ni ga pa sa ni pa ni ma ga re sa da sa ni pa da ni ga re sa pa da ni pa ga ma da pa sa re ga ma ga re sa pa da ni pa ga ma da pa da ma pa da sa
ni pa da ni sa ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni sa ga ma pa da pa ni sa ga ma pa da pa ni sa ga ma pa da pa.
You know what is so fascinating when I'm listening to you? There's this swooping flow when you sing in the notes, and I'm just wondering, where did that element of singing come from? Is there a history behind it? I'm just curious about that.
In the Hindustani classical music, there is actually a technical term for it. It's called meend, which is the extension or the stretching of notes and dropping of notes. My first teacher in West Bloomfield, Miss Geeta Raghu, used to tell me that think about the note as sliding on a slide instead of going on steps. So she would say it has to slide and it has to ebb and flow, and so that's what you see as a wavy format, and that's very very signature for the Hindustani classical music, the waves and the way you would stretch and take him in ebbs and flows. It's the meend is what it is, and we are always encouraged as students to use as much meend as possible in the singing. That will really embellish the song.
Yeah, it definitely does create a feel, and I think as a listener, it just draws you in to this journey, like you said, of ebbs and flows, but just really pulls you in. It makes me feel quite emotional. I'm assuming that's the reason behind it?
That's exactly it. So the existence of music in this world is to bring out a certain emotion in you. While there are flowy rags that depict a longing or a deeper emotion, there are a lot of celebratory rags that also have very definite shapes to them rather than curves. So each rag brings out a certain emotion. It's whether it's happiness or fulfillment or sadness or jubilant, ecstatic or lazy. So there's different emotions that the rag brings out. And as Lamha said, this little bit that I did in Rag Bhairavi brings out the longing emotion from you.
That's great. Folks, if you are joining us, let me just go ahead and introduce the Raman family. Today's theme is the Swaranandan Journey, the journey through the garden of notes. And we are just listening to some amazing and inspirational Indian classical music. Now, your final song.
Yes. Our final song is a song about appreciation towards the teacher or the guru. It says that without a teacher, you cannot become good in anything. Without a teacher, you can't advance in anything. Without a teacher, you cannot excel in what you're learning. And it's really an ode to the teacher, saying that the teacher is better and the teacher is what is giving you this opportunity, or who is giving you this opportunity.
Lamha, do you want to go ahead and introduce it fully?
This song is called Guru Bina. It is a bandish composed in Rag Yaman.
Folks, let's listen to that and enjoy.
Guru Bina kaise gun gaave, Guru Bina kaise gun gaave, Guru na mane to gun nahi aave, Guru na mane to गुरु बिन कैसे गुण गावे गुरु बिन कैसे गुरु बिन कैसे गुरु बिन कैसे गुण गावे.
Another very powerful song there. I was wondering though, just each of you, if you could just share about maybe a teacher in your lifetime who really impacted you, and how did that teacher impact you in the sense of where you are right now?
For me, my mother is a teacher. So she is a teacher and a singer. My dad was an engineer and a singer. So growing up, I always aspired to be like them when I grow up. In our culture, there's a saying called Pradhama Guru. Guru means teacher. Pradhama means first. So Pradhama Guru, first teachers are your parents. So she is my most cherished and the most memorable teacher that ever taught me anything. And then we had many other teachers growing up that had influence in different areas of my life, which is whether it's music or poetry or sports or science. So every single teacher that I had growing up definitely played a part in who I am today. And,
Same for me. Obviously, my first and the best teachers were my parents, whether it was music or anything that they taught. My mother taught a lot of the things that are very artsy. So I get my art side from my mom. And my dad taught me a lot of the ways of living, being street smart, being really focused about what you need to do, what you need to accomplish in life. All of that strength I got from my dad. And then within music and educational sides, I've had many teachers. I could remember one very specific teacher, or a math teacher in school. His name is Nagreddy sir. Very strict teacher, but I think his strictness and his passion for math really helped all the students be excelling in that subject. And then for music, I obviously had my grandmother, Vinny's sister, who is Rani, who actually runs a 70 or 80 students school in Seattle. She's a classical music teacher. She teaches Carnatic music. I learned some from her. I learned from Ms. Geeta Raghu, and eventually settled down with Guruji Brajeshwar Mukherjee, and he's from Kolkata, and he's an exemplary teacher. He really fixed some of our core issues with notes and stability within the voice. I've been waiting to find somebody like that all through my life, and I feel very blessed that we actually fell into his lap and that he accepted us as students, because we were quite basic as students. So, and he's an extremely humble teacher. So our journey with him is really exceptional. So this song exemplifies how important a guru is, how important a teacher is in your life to really have a pivotal moment for you. So I appreciate all the teachers that have taught me, including family members.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Lamha?
For me, it's extremely hard to choose between my parents, my first Hindustani teacher, and my current Hindustani teacher. My mom has really set my core identity, and she's really taught me how to be confident, how to voice out my feelings and thoughts. And my first Hindustani teacher, she set a fun feel around Hindustani music. She gave it a very nice introduction at the young age I started learning from her. And my current teacher, Guruji Brajeshwar Mukherjee, he's a wonderful teacher, and he's found the little small things in my voice and gave me many wonderful ways to fix those. So all of my teachers have really made a big impact. The words Guru Bina means without a teacher, and Guru Bina Kaise, how without a teacher. how could I do this without a teacher?
How about Mr. Conrad?
Mr. Conrad was my 5th grade teacher. He was a wonderful teacher. He was really the most fun and carefree teacher that I've had, and it was just a wonderful way to exit elementary school.
She really likes Mr. Conrad.
Mr. Conrad
Talks
was my
about him
favorite
quite a
All
bit.
the time.
Yeah.
Faves. But I think, everything you're saying there is about teachers sharing passion, right?
Yes.
Those passionate teachers.
Yes, we have the most important teacher sitting right with us,
Oh my goodness.
Right now.
Most important.
which having a look at cultural diversity and appreciating the cultural diversity, Ms. Gago, coming to our home, blessing us with your presence, and doing this podcast. We are so blessed
Yes.
that we have you, and Lamha is very fortunate to be growing up in the middle of opportunity and also such great teachers around her, shaping her up to be a well-rounded, such a gentle, nice person. So thank you so much for everything. In fact, I was going to say one little bit. The word Lamha means a moment in someone's life.
Wow.
Yes. Special moment.
And we had great special moments like that, and through those we started liking a Bollywood song which goes with those words, Lamha, Lamha. So that inspired us to actually give that name to our daughter, and our son Zubin is named after a classical music conductor, Zubin Mehta. He's from Iran. In the Persian area, but he's Indian origin. So it's all connected. It's all bringing together in music.
And if you think about it, you asking Lamha to sing a song in the class exposed her music to you, and all of this has come together.
You talk about diversity, but her willingness. Tell us the story.
So all of my life, before I started learning with Guruji Brajeshwar Mukherjee, I was singing in my false voice, with a false voice, going up to the higher notes and kind of breathing the notes rather than singing them full and headstrong. And the journey with my current teacher has really set the tone for that, saying you should make your voice strong, project, right? And sing in your real voice.
Embrace your falsetto also. It's one of the
Yes.
things that he emphasizes is embrace your falsetto. That is part of your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've been working to, I still am, I've been working to sing as little falsetto as I can within singing, but I've also been working on just making that falsetto stronger. And I shared that at the end of class, and then I had the wonderful opportunity to sing in front of my classmates, and now here we are.
I thought it was interesting because she said that. I thought, and I love songs, so I was like, will you sing us a song, Lamha? And she said, sure, I will. Right? And I think just, again, seizing the opportunity. Somebody else would have probably said, no, I don't want to do it, But she just said, okay, yeah, sure, absolutely. And I think, again, what blessed me was, although some of the students were giggling,
Oh, that's inevitable.
which was inevitable, but which just exposed their need to experience other cultures. And I had to stop the class and challenge them to stop, of course, laughing. And said to Lamha again, are you okay to start? And she just got up and she carried on from where she stopped. And that really spoke to me as a teacher. One, of her courage, but also of her love for her culture. She was not embarrassed, first of all, to stand up and do what she loved, but she was not swayed by how other people were responding to what was foreign in that respect, or what was not familiar to them. She was willing to stand her ground and just carry on. And that just speaks to her character, but also how you have brought her up you know, to embrace who she is as an Indian and back again to that roots, that connection to her roots. So well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done
Thank you,
to
Miss
your
Gago.
experience. I think that's very, very powerful. Speaks a lot to how you brought her up to just love her culture. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Before we close out, one of the questions I ask all my guests, and you're not excluded as much as I'm in your home. Oh, you gotta be my guest. I am in your home. What does it mean for you to live the candid life? I mean, you have embraced your culture. You have, and I'm so blessed to be sitting here listening to this classical music. And I really want people to tap into it and just embrace that and really come to a better understanding of how beautiful, first of all, Indian classical music is. But what does it mean for you to live the candid life? Let's start with you, Mom.
My motto has always been, whatever you do, do it to the fullest. Don't do it as a checklist item. Do it to the fullest. I keep saying that all the time to my kids. Whatever you do it with passion. There's only one life you have, so give it all. Give it all the passion. If you love somebody, love them completely.
Mm-hmm.
Write poems.
Which they don't understand anyhow, because
yeah.
they're all about the squares and the circles and the triangle.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. I'm supposed to be hosting you. Go on.
And be silly. Be silly.
Be silly, be fun.
Right? We are such a silly family. We're just such a silly family. Oh my gosh. It's just, my daughter says, oh my God, we're so crazy. We're always goofing off, but that's my mode of life.
What about you, Vinny?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with Amri more. I subscribe to the same philosophy. You know, lighten up, open your heart to everybody. There is so much in common in this world. While we are all different, we celebrate our differences, but if you look inside, look within, you will know that everybody is like us. Just try to understand everyone as you would expect them to understand you, and life is going to be so powerful and happy.
Really, just embracing the fact that there are different things in the world, and there's just, the world is different than what you want it to be. So just, I would say honestly, to live life to the fullest and just be carefree about anything that would normally be somewhat of an annoyance. My mom and dad have always been like, they're small things. If it's a small thing, it shouldn't really worry you. So just open-mindedness really is what has gotten me and my journey this far. Just being open to everything, and I hope that I have been. I'm not sure if that's how others would perceive it, but that's what I hope.
That's good. Before we close out the podcast, I'm just wondering, is there any way people can tap into more of the Indian classical music, or just find out a bit more about what's going on in the city?
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of Indian cultural events happening throughout the Detroit metro area, whether it's Troy or Farmington Hills, Canton, Novi, Rochester area. There's always events happening. But bringing together all these events in one space is a website called miindia.com. If you go there, it has a listing of all the cultural events that are happening throughout the city. And everybody is welcome to join them and enjoy some really nice classical or Indian cultural music.
Thank you. Amri, Lamha, Vinny, Zubin, Raman, you guys have filled my cup to overflowing today. First of all, with a beautiful home, wonderful food, and your presence. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on the Candid Life podcast. So that's it, family. That beautiful garden of notes. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
The feeling
Sounds
is mutual.
crazy. Thank you so much. So family, please continue to listen to The Candid Life. And if you want to connect with me, you can connect on livethecandidlife@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram at Lydia Gago. Listen to the podcast on the popular platforms, including AfriPods, and also on YouTube. When you listen to these podcasts, the stories you hear will inspire challenge and empower you to live differently so that you can impact this generation and the next. So until next time, remember your story matters. So live the candid life 24/7. God bless you.
चंद्रमल लाट पर सोहे भुजंग धर सिर जटा जूट धर कर डमरू बाजे सिर जटा जूट धर कर डमरू बाजे सिर जटा जूट धर